The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It's Tuesday morning. That means it's time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here once again on a Tuesday. Remember, we are brought to you by our friends over at crushedpeanuts.com. Check them out today, crushedpeanuts.com. They're here locally in El Paso. You can go to any local Valero station, any local Chevron station, ask for crushed peanuts, 9 grams of protein, a great supplement for your breakfast, a great protein bar for you to start your day with, crushedpeanuts.com. Yesterday, we had the end of the NFL Week 4. Already a quarter of the way through the season. The first month of the NFL has come and passed. It's time to wake up old boy from Green Day, whatever the hell his name is. And we got 2 Monday Night Football games last night. One of them interesting-ish. The other one just a complete blowout, but you kind of figured that's what was going to happen because Joe Burrow wasn't there. The Denver Broncos, a 28-3 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals without Joe Burrow just imploding before us. Like it is not a good look for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Then you have, on the flip side of this, the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, and I subjected myself to watching this football game, and it was mildly entertaining. The Crooked Commish saying the Cubs postseason starts tonight. Go Cubs. You can see wearing my Yankees hat. Over the next couple of days, Tommy and I renewing the greatest rivalry in sports, the Boston Red Sox taking on the New York Yankees in the wild card round. The Yankees have lost 9 of 13 games to the Boston Red Sox, and I am not feeling very confident right now. Not feeling confident at all. But at least my team didn't have an epic collapse like the New York Mets, the other team in New York. I was watching videos and stuff on Sunday night, getting ready for all the things like that I've got to do, and I was watching the New York Mets. B. Strillo probably thought I was talking about the Tigers whenever I said that my team didn't have an epic collapse. Talking about the Mets. And just watching the Miami Marlins beat the brakes off of the New York Mets, who have the highest payroll in baseball. What was it, $326 million? And you can't even make it to the playoffs? I am here for that. I am here for all of the chaos. Stevie Cohen, owner of the New York Mets, Steve Cohen, said that he was going to guarantee a championship within 5 years for the New York Mets. And it's been those 5 years. And each year, it feels like the Mets are just worse and worse and worse, despite spending all that money. I was watching all these AI-generated things where they're putting Juan Soto like he's running back to the Bronx to put on his New York Yankees pinstripes. Maybe it's Juan Soto, right? Like ever since winning the World Series, what was it, in 2019 with the Washington Nationals, went to San Diego. San Diego was supposed to be a really good team. They kind of never lived up to expectations. Goes to New York. The Yankees don't live up to expectations. Now goes to the Mets, and the Mets don't live up to the expectation. Maybe it's Juan Soto. Now, I think we found the common denominator here, that it might just be Juan Soto. And don't get me wrong, like he's a hell of a player. So, and obviously in baseball, you need more than one dude. But it feels like maybe it's just something that follows around Juan Soto. But Major League Baseball kicking off today, the wild card round of the playoffs. Detroit at Cleveland. Should be the other way around. We've already spoken about that. But at least the Tigers made it to the playoffs. Detroit at Cleveland. San Diego at the Chicago Cubs. The affiliation with the El Paso Chihuahuas makes me root for the San Diego Padres. Also, I cannot stand the Cubs. I wanted so badly for 108 years to extend another 108 years. Give me 216 years of just pain and suffering. I wanted that for the Chicago Cubs. Die sad is what I was chanting to their fans. I went to a bar here in El Paso. It was called Brass Monkey at the time. Watching that game, Game 7 of the World Series. They were the Indians at the time, the Indians versus the Cubs. Hoping and praying that the Indians would be able to extend that long losing streak. And it didn't happen. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's all the hater of the year bull stuff that I got going on. Got to reply to an email real quick. There we go. Your boy getting a promotion, feeling good about himself. B. Strilla saying, I'm not hyped about these MLB playoffs. No, I get you 100%. The Crooked Commish saying, that was easily your worst take I've ever heard from you, Mike. I wanted him to be sad. Again, like my whole thing, if you're going to lose historic. The Cincinnati Reds getting in, sneaking in to the playoffs, taking on the LA Dodgers. Crazy that the LA Dodgers, with, again, as much money as they spent, the third best record in the National League. And Cincinnati, like Cincinnati's not a team to bat an eyelid at, right? Like this is going to be solid. Like the Dodgers should win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati finds a way to make it difficult for the Dodgers. I like Ellie De La Cruz. I think Ellie De La Cruz is the most dynamic baseball player in baseball right now. Well, I guess you got Shohei, but like Shohei is just like the most unique baseball player in baseball right now. And then, of course, Garrett Crochet and the Boston Red Sox taking on Max Fried and the New York Yankees. I am, again, as a Yankees fan, not confident in this at all. But I'm excited for it. We got 4 games, 4 Major League Baseball games happening today. Can't wait to watch. Like it's going to be, if you're a baseball fan, this is going to be a useless day at work. A useless day at work. Whenever I leave here and I got to go to work, like I'm debating on how I'm going to be dressed. Like if I should just wear a Yankees jersey or something like that. Clearly not going to do that. Got to look a little professional. A little small. A smidge of professionalism, please. Strilla, I know you said you're not confident in these playoffs. Who do you think is going to win the World Series? What do you think the World Series matchup is going to be? There's a part of me that wants it to be the Dodgers and the Yankees again, because I want the Yankees to get their revenge. But I do not have faith. I don't have faith in the New York Yankees. Maybe the Dodgers. I've been on the Dodgers the whole time. Phillies and Guardians is who B. Strella is going with right now. I can see that. I can 100% see that. Man, Phillies. I'm debating right here between the Phillies and the Brewers. Because Milwaukee's been good, but Philadelphia's been right on them. And I think, like, head-to-head, Philadelphia's got the edge, right? Talking myself through this right now. Bryce Harper and them boys. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Phillies here. So once again, taking my fan hat off. If me as the fan wants Dodgers-Yankees in the World Series because I want the Yankees to get their comeuppance. That would be fun. The Cricket Commish saying, I think the Cubs versus Yankees World Series would be fun to watch. That would be great. That would be epic. I would be all about a Cubs-Yankees World Series. Cubs-Red Sox World Series would be fun too. Like again, as a baseball fan, Cubs-Red Sox World Series would be awesome to watch. That's the one time you would see me rooting for the Chicago Cubs. B-Shrill saying, if the Brewers don't choke like they usually do in the playoffs, that's the thing with them, right? Like they find a way to make it to the playoffs and then just not be good. I want to say Seattle. There's like that small part of me that wants to say Seattle. But if the Mariners made it to the World Series, it would be the first time in their franchise's history that they made it to the World Series. And I get it, like you got the big dumper and Cal Raleigh, like that whole team has been like dominant in the second half of the season. Cal Raleigh more than likely going to be the AL MVP. 60 home runs on the season. But there's something about putting your faith and trust in the Seattle Mariners that just doesn't sit right. And I'm with you, Strilla. Like, it would be cool to see them in a World Series. I've said this a million times. I am the kind of guy, like, if you've had no success, I want to see you have some success. Unless you're the Cubs, in which case, get the hell out of here. 60 home runs from Cal Raleigh. Julio Rodriguez. Like, they're a solid team. It's just I don't know if I can trust them. Like, I don't know if I should trust them. And I look at like the Yankees, right? And I'm like, man, this Yankees team, absolutely phenomenal. Aaron Judge, 53 home runs, 331 batting average, 114 RBIs. Like, he's great. Like he's great. But I've also seen Aaron Judge give me nothing, absolutely nothing in the playoffs. You look at Boston. Everyone writing Boston off whenever they traded Rafael Devers. That this wasn't going to be a team that would make the playoffs, and then they just get hot, like proving that Rafael Devers was clearly the problem. Man, it's going to be fun. Like I am here for it. And I haven't even spoken about the Blue Jays yet, right? Like how great the Blue Jays played all season long. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and them boys. Like, man, Bo Bichette, George Springer. Like, man, this is going to be a super fun playoff. I genuinely believe that. I am excited about it. I really am. Not just because the Yankees are in. I'd still be in it, excited with it if the Yankees weren't in the playoffs. Maybe not as much, but if the Yankees weren't in the playoffs, I'd still be excited. Again, I don't have faith in the New York Yankees. I think the Philadelphia Phillies, and you know what? I'm going to say it. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Seattle Mariners. It feels like, and I know this is dumb because sports doesn't do this, but it feels like one of those magical seasons, right? Like maybe, just maybe, something good can happen with Seattle. But I also feel like the Philadelphia Phillies are the more complete team out of the two. I really like it. It's going to be between the Dodgers and the Phillies who makes it to the World Series. I want to have faith in Milwaukee. I just have a lot of history that shows me Milwaukee's not going to do what we expect the Milwaukee Brewers to do. But Phillies and Mariners, I'm calling it right now. That's who I think is going to be in the World Series. Now, obviously, the dream World Series for me, the Yankees and the Dodgers. The most fun World Series, I think, for everybody would be the Cubs and the Red Sox. I think that would be a fun, like, just historical World Series. I wonder, like, going back in the day, like, they had to have played each other, right? Wow. The 1918 World Series, when the Red Sox defeated the Chicago Cubs in 4-2. The chant. I should have known that. The chant. 1918. The last time the Cubs and the Red Sox played each other in the World Series, 1918. I would be about that. I kind of like a Red Sox Dodgers World Series would be fun. I know Tommy's all about it because that's his team. Wants the Sox to win a championship. And I realize this, like Tommy and I literally agree on one thing and one thing only, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. He's a fan of the Mavs. I'm a fan of the Spurs. Can't wait to see what Wemby does this year. God, he's a freak. He's a fan of the Red Sox. I'm a fan of the Yankees. It's just like there's something about that. Something about it. But going back to it, the Cubs and the Red Sox haven't played since 1918. That is odd. Like, I would love to see that type of a World Series. Red Sox, Cubs, 1918. Like go all the way back to it. You got the two most historic ballparks in baseball. That would be a fun World Series. Genuinely a fun World Series. Tommy also a Sooners fan. Well, I am a Texas Tech fan, and we were ranked number 1 for 1 week. 1 week, baby. We were ranked number 1. I was also getting it in. On Saturday, I went to the UTEP football game. That was a fun time. I know they got their ass handed to them, but it was a fun time. I was getting it in. I was wearing my UTEP alumni shirt. thinking to myself, I gotta enroll for my master's degree at Texas Tech. That way I can like really rep Tech. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so that's enough of baseball right now. We dedicated the better part of 20 minutes to Major League Baseball. Let's talk about what happened yesterday and how that's going to impact the NFL going forward. Tyreek Hill with a gruesome leg injury. Sources are saying that he has torn his ACL and multiple ligaments whenever he dislocated his knee during Monday night's 27-21 win over the New York Jets. He was hospitalized overnight while undergoing further testing, according to head coach Mike McDaniel. Obviously, that is a season-ending injury. Tommy was saying that was bad. Bistro saying, yeah, he's done for the season. And there was all those rumors that were out there, right? Like maybe, just maybe, he would get traded somewhere. And there's a couple of teams out there that could use a guy like Tyreek Hill. Like Pittsburgh was one of these teams. Kansas City was one of these teams. We saw Kansas City somewhat right the ship, right? Like they're able to put up 37 points. But again, that was against the Baltimore Ravens and their horrific defense. I'm trying to read right here saying, Drew Rosenhaus saying he doesn't know the extent of the injury, but it was bad. Like we all know that's bad. The Crooked Commish saying that might be a career-ending injury. He's definitely not coming back the same player. 31 years young. And that's the thing, right? Like he's on the other end of 30, which is never the place that you want to get an injury like that. Because trying to come back, and it's weird being 41 years old saying this about a 30-year-old, but trying to come back from that type of injury, like it's going to be difficult, especially whenever your whole thing is speed. Are you going to be able to get that speed back? Because Tyreek Hill isn't the dude that you look at as like a possession kind of guy. He takes the top off the defense. He had every defense geared to stopping him. Every single defense was geared to stopping him. Though the overly high, too high safeties was made for him. Tommy Canazza saying Baltimore Ravens and horrific defense is crazy. I never thought I'd hear that description for a Baltimore defense. That is weird. Like I've said it, them and Pittsburgh having two terrible defenses right now is insane to me. I can't believe it's been coming out of my mouth that the worst team defensively are like the Baltimore Ravens. Like the Ravens and the Steelers have these horrible, horrible defenses. Looking at some stuff, trying to get a stat that I saw here that was going on. Augustine Pimentel saying, good morning from the greatest city in the world, Mexico City. I do love Mexico City. Augustine letting us know he's taking a bath in a hotel once again. Bath and hotel just doesn't go together. Not in my mind. Not at all. It does not work. Trying to look up some stuff here. Because I saw a stat that really, really surprised me. I'm going to have to go somewhere else to find what it is that I'm looking for. I should have had this brought up earlier. The boys are here at home. So I was like, I am trying my best. to get all the little things done that I need to get done. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The number one offense in the NFL are the Dallas Cowboys. Yards per game, total yards, the Dallas Cowboys, the number one offense in the NFL. They currently have 1,617 yards, averaging 404.3 yards a game, edging out the Buffalo Bills, who have 404.0 yards per game. The Dallas Cowboys, 281 passing yards through the air per game, and 123 rushing yards on the ground. Bistro saying, I'll give you that you have great hygiene, Augustine, but you can save all the visuals. Augustine saying, I'm going to start singing Rubber Ducky. Ernie sang it the best. Yeah, you look like you'd be a big fan of Bert and Ernie. Tommy Canazza saying, and the number 117 defense in the NFL. And that is funny that you bring that up, because the Dallas Cowboys also have the worst defense in the NFL, edging out the Baltimore Ravens by 14 yards a game. The Dallas Cowboys have given up 1,682 yards for an average of 420.5 yards per game. Let's go back to the offensive side. They forced 1,617 yards and averaged 404 yards a game. The second worst defense here, the Baltimore Ravens, 406.8 yards a game, giving up 1,063 yards through the air and 141.3 yards a game on the ground is what the Baltimore Ravens are giving up. And I am not used to the Baltimore Ravens being that bad. Baltimore's so mind-blowing this year, they can't be this bad. Cowboys bad. The bottom defenses, the Chicago Bears, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Giants, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas giving up 123.3 yards a game on the ground. So I don't think that's great. Let me use a filter over here. That is currently, I guess, middle of the road. See, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. The 20th ranked rush defense in the NFL right now with the Dallas Cowboys. That passing defense, though, for the Dallas Cowboys, absolutely atrocious. They are, Jesus Christ, they are giving up 297.3 yards a game. 297.3 yards a game. That's 30, like we know Baltimore's pass defense is bad. That's 30 yards more per game on the pass defense than what Baltimore gives up. And Augustine's saying, where is it? By the way, I'm going to backtrack. Dak isn't that bad. I've said it. I've said it time and time again. Dak, not the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. Whenever Dak is healthy, the Dallas Cowboys have a top-type offense. And we are seeing that right now. As the Dallas Cowboys currently have, I know it's only a month into the season, but the Dallas Cowboys currently have the number one offense in the NFL. Again, it's early. I understand it. It's just the tip of the season.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That Would Make Me Just enough, just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Visit myhappynuts.com today. Get that Nuts About You bundle. They have the My Happy Nuts Comfort Cream to make sure that you're not sticking to yourself. They got the anti-chafe stick to make sure you're as comfortable as possible. And of course, they've got the comfort powder as well. You spray them down there. You're making sure everything is good to go. You are as comfortable as you can possibly be. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I'm trying to find here where the Baltimore Ravens offense is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The Ravens have been this weird team because we all put expectations on them, right? Like we all said that this is a team that should be a Super Bowl contender. And starting the season 1-3 doesn't necessarily feel like a Super Bowl contending team should be that bad. And we got to go with, of course, obviously, if the Kansas City Chiefs had lost, we would be saying the same thing. If you're a true Super Bowl contender, you shouldn't be 1-3. But it feels like with Baltimore, it's not insurmountable. And I get it right now that Pittsburgh is 3-1 on the season. That feels like a fraudulent 3-1. And when I look at the upcoming schedule for the Baltimore Ravens, they've got the Texans next, then the Rams, the Bears, the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bengals. That's where you can get right in your division. You've got what? 4 out of 5 games are against the division. Sweep those games, and you're in business. The Patriots, the Packers, the Steelers to end the season. This is a tough schedule. Like I know the Texans aren't good right now, and it's weird to think that the Texans can fall to 1-4 off of this week. Again, wild to think this, that after this week, either the Texans or the Ravens are going to be 1-4. That's just not something that I think any of us had in mind. And I was on the bandwagon loud as I could possibly be, letting everyone know that I didn't think the Houston Texans were going to be that good this year. I didn't think they'd be this bad, but I didn't think that they were going to be that good this year. One of those two teams, Baltimore or Houston, who came into this season with at minimum playoff expectations. One of those two teams is going to be 1-4, and that is mind-blowing right now. And it's because, again, we have to do something with Baltimore that we have never associated with the Baltimore Ravens, that this team is bad defensively. They're a middle-of-the-road offense. They become super one-dimensional because of the way that they're giving up points left and right, and they don't have the dynamic type of plays that you would expect the Baltimore Ravens to have. I was watching that game against Kansas City, and they were talking about how Detroit. Tommy's saying they could be like the Cowboys. They could be 1-3-1. That, you know what? That's right. We always have to make sure we leave room for the tie. There's always room for the tie. I forgot to mention this yesterday. That was the first tie for the Dallas Cowboys since 1969. Nice, but the first tie since 1969 with the Dallas Cowboys. God, they're bad. They're going to be so bad this year. I'm glad we got the tie because that means we could be 500. We can be 8-1. That's what I want the Dallas Cowboys to be this year. 8-1. Let's do it. I feel like it would take a miracle for the Dallas Cowboys to get to 8-1. But the Baltimore Ravens, again, barring some sort of weird stuff that happens, could be 1-4. The Houston Texans could be 1-4. Augustine asking, will the Cowboys get a top 5 pick? Oh, man. That's so hard to say right now. Like, I think the Jets are going to be there. Cleveland, maybe. Vegas, maybe. The Giants, maybe. The Saints, oh, man, they're going to be there for sure. The Dolphins, like, it'll definitely be a top 10 pick. You already know me. I want the number 1 overall pick. If you're going to be bad, be historically bad. It would be insane. Because I also want the chaos of the Dallas Cowboys having the number 1 offense in the NFL and missing the playoffs because the defense is that bad. I want that chaos. I know people are going to be like, Tip, that's horrible. Tommy's saying this offense is too good for a tip 5 pick. I'm with you on that one. That offense is going to keep the Dallas Cowboys in games. Especially once they get CeeDee Lamb back. Our guy, we all know, we love him on this show, Brock Hoffman, showing that he's an absolute dog in the trenches. They'll get Tyler Booker back eventually. Like this, the offense with the Dallas Cowboys is not the issue. It's that horrendous defense. And defense wins you championships. Like we say it all the time. Defense wins championships. And they just don't have a good defense. But they're 1-2-1 on the season, baby. The Green Bay Packers, 2-1-1 on the season, baby. A quarter of the way through. I need to go back, find my page that I was at. The Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Rams, and surprising, the San Francisco 49ers. The top 5 offenses through yards so far this season. Dallas, Buffalo, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. I was not expecting to see San Francisco there just because I feel like they're not really putting up points. Now, the highest scoring offenses in the NFL, and this is what's wild to me. The highest scoring offenses in the NFL. Detroit, 137 points so far this season, averaging 34.3 points per game. Buffalo averaging 33.3 points a game. Baltimore, 32.8 points a game. The Colts, 30.8 points a game. And then, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, because they would have a top 5 scoring offense at 28.5 points a game. And despite the fact that the 49ers are getting all those yards, they're only averaging 20 points a game, which is, again, what's wild to me, that they're a top 5 offense with yardage, but 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23rd. The 23rd scoring offense in the NFL for San Francisco. They're behind the Miami Dolphins as far as scoring offenses go. They're behind the New York Jets, our Jacksonville Jaguars. In a world that's divided, we can all land on, we love the Jacksonville Jaguars. The San Francisco 49ers. Again, top 5 offense with yardage, number 23 scoring offense. That means that they're playing defenses that bend, don't break. And, of course, the 49ers just not that good. My opinion. Again, I think they're a fraudulent 3-1 team. The best defense in the NFL right now, the Cleveland Browns. Giving up 152 yards through the air and 70 yards on the ground. Giving up 222.5 yards a game. This Cleveland Browns defense, they are like the exact opposite of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have a great offense and absolutely no defense. I'm going to go back to the offensive rankings and see where Cleveland is offensively. Cleveland, the 27th ranked offense in the NFL. I can't believe what I just saw as far as points go. Like that's wow. Okay. They are the second worst scoring offense in the NFL. They've only scored 56 points total, averaging 14 points a game for the Cleveland Browns. That is insane. The Cleveland Browns offense or defense giving up 25 points a game. Scoring defense, not that great for the Cleveland Browns, but they're not giving up a ton of yards. That's the biggest issue with the Cleveland Browns right now. Somehow, some way, the Houston Texans with the number one scoring defense in the NFL. Houston, so bad, but somehow the number one scoring defense in the NFL, only giving up 12 points a game. 51 total points is what Cleveland has given up. That doesn't seem right to me. The Broncos, number 2, we knew the Broncos were going to have a good defense, giving up 16.8. Seattle tied at number 2, giving up 16.8. The Chargers at number 4, giving up 17.8. And then our Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval, number 5, giving up 18 points a game. If the Dallas Cowboys had the Jacksonville Jaguars defense and vice versa, if Jacksonville Jaguars had the Dallas Cowboys offense, they would be amazing teams. The Dallas Cowboys, the number 2, or number 31 rather, ranked scoring defense in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens, the worst in the NFL, giving up 33.3 points a game. They're just so not used to those words coming out of my mouth. Like I've been talking about it basically all day. I'm still not used to the Baltimore Ravens having one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Like that, those are just words that should never, ever compete, like combine. And I get it once again, only a month into the season, a quarter of the way through, you're already defining who you are as a team. The New Orleans Saints with the 30th ranked defense, the Titans with the 29th ranked defense, and the Jets with the 28th ranked scoring defense. Do we have anything on special teams here? Who has the best special teams unit? I would have thought it was the Cowboys, but I guess not. Huh. The Cowboys only have a bottom 25 on kickoff averages. Let's see, punt averages. Well, I thought with Kevontae Turpin they'd be better, but top 20? We're not looking at special teams. Turnovers. How many turnovers do they have? The Jaguars, holy shit, with the NFL's best turnover differential. The Browns with the worst turnover, and the Jets with the worst turnover differential. The Cowboys -4 on the turnover differential. Where are other teams at? Where are the other teams at? Where are the Lions at here on this list? Trying to find the Lions. Can't find the Lions. There they are. The Lions with the number 4 best turnover differential right now. You feel like with some of these defenses, they're going to get better, right? Like with the Dallas Cowboys, you feel like eventually, they'll right the ship. They'll start getting some turnovers. We saw them in that game on Sunday night against the Packers. And I get it. Jordan Love is a gunslinger. He's not the typical prototypical quarterback in the NFL now. We saw that the Dallas Cowboys could possibly force some turnovers here and there. There's always that possibility that it can happen. Especially whenever you got a healthy Deron Bland and a healthy Trayvon Diggs. Back-to-back years, they led the NFL in interception. And you started to see a little bit, super weak still, but a little bit of a pass rush from the Dallas Cowboys. But if you have to rely on maybe they can generate turnovers, your defense isn't good enough. And that to me is the biggest issue right now with everything that's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. The offense, great. Like we knew. I've said it all off season. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, once again, the only quarterback whenever he's healthy over the last 6 years that has had a number one offense twice. The only quarterback to do that is Dak Prescott. And there is, once again, this possibility. I know, again, it's super early in the season. We don't know how the rest of the season is going to play out. But the Dallas Cowboys having the number one offense in the NFL means nothing if the defense is that bad. And again, I want to find a way where they finish the season 8-8, where it's just not that great for the Dallas Cowboys. 8-8-1. That's what this season feels like. But it also feels like it'll be incredible if the Dallas Cowboys are able to get 8 wins. Vegas knew what the hell they were talking about whenever the over-under for Dallas was 7.5 at the beginning of the season. 8 wins seems insane right now, especially the way that the season's gone. I'm not going to go over the schedule with the Dallas Cowboys coming up for the rest of the season because we've gone over it a couple of times. I feel like there's maybe 4 wins for the Cowboys. We've already got one of them against the Giants. Maybe you beat the Giants again, you get 2. Maybe there's 5 total wins this season. Carolina, the Jets, and the Raiders. And the Raiders aren't going to be a team that you can just steamroll, which is, again, insane to think about with the Dallas Cowboys. And maybe I did it to myself, right? Like I did it to myself. I came into the season thinking that they were going to be bad. I started to drink the Kool-Aid, and I thought to myself, maybe they got it. Maybe there's a little shot here. Second best team in the division. They'll be lucky the way that they keep playing right now to not be the worst team in the division. And that tie really helps them out with not being the worst team in the division. So I think that's going to be the New York Giants, especially coming off the fact that Malik Neighbors, that's a huge injury for the New York Giants. Malik Neighbors going down with that ACL, done for the rest of the year. Huge injury for the New York Giants. Now, they weren't going to be great, but at least he gave them a shot. He gave them an option. We've got to also go back and see how many ACL/Achilles injuries MetLife Stadium has given us. I know Odell Beckham was on X on Sunday night talking about how bad that stadium is to play in. I know it's Aaron Rodgers. I know it's now Malik Neighbors. There's a whole list of players. Just a real quick search. Like, these are the biggest names so far. Nick Bosa, ACL tear. Sterling Shepard, ACL tear. Aaron Rodgers, torn Achilles. Jalen Phillips, torn Achilles. Malik Neighbors, ACL tear. I wonder if there's more. Like, I know there's more. Here we go. Since 2020, here is a partial list of notable injuries suffered at MetLife Stadium because of the turf. Nick Bosa with an ACL. The Dallas Cowboys' own Solomon Thomas with an ACL tear. Jimmy Garoppolo with a major high ankle sprain. Raheem Mostert, MCL tear. Sterling Shepard, Achilles tear. Sterling Shepard again, ACL tear. Wow. Wan'Dale Robinson, ACL tear. Blake Martinez, Achilles tear. Shane Lemieux, patellar tendon tear. Jabril Peppers, ACL tear. Kyle Fuller, ACL tear. Aaron Rodgers, Achilles tear. Al Woods, Achilles tear. Jalen Phillips, Achilles tear. Andrew Thomas, Liz Frank injury. And Malik Neighbors, an ACL tear. This is just a partial list. A partial list. Augustine saying, wow, that's a lot of injuries. It's a ton of injuries. Tipton, tip tear. You ever tear the tip? It's a life-changing experience. Luckily, I got the Prince Albert to stop the tip from being torn. Or, given the right circumstance, it might tear the tip. Got to get the Jacob's ladder to make sure that the tip is not torn. If you get those jokes, you are a deviant. Augustine saying it's a lot of crying. LOL. A partial tip tear does sound like a nightmare scenario for anybody. Just anybody. Even like the tip of your finger. A tip tear just sounds bad. But look at that. Like going back to that stadium. This is just a partial list going back 5 years. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 season-ending injuries in 5 seasons. Tommy Cananza giving us the laughing emojis. 16. You're averaging more than 3 season-ending injuries on one stadium per year. The Crooked Commish saying, Mike, I definitely got those jokes, so that means the rapture didn't come from me, unfortunately. However, or fortunately, however you want to see it. I'm with you on that, Commish. I am with you on that. Lee Ainsworth saying, but unfortunately, the Giants won't do jack crap. I mean, it sucks. Again, like, I still hold steadfast that I think the most fun offense for the Giants would have been Jameis Winston, having Malik Neighbors, having Wan'Dale Robinson, just Jameis Winston throwing the ball down the field. Now having Jackson Dart there, it's not going to be fun to watch. It's going to wind up being just right? Like, it's like, we know they're bad, but you can be like a fun bad team. Like the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of like Cowboys fans, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be a fun bad team because they're going to give up a ton of points. But that offense, 90% of the time, is going to keep them in games. The Giants are going to be a bad team, but it's not even going to be fun to watch. Augustine saying rapturing from the tip is impressive, Commish. The Giants completely surprised me, and Dart is going to be really good. You're drunk. There's no way that you can get from that game. No way at all that you can get from that game, that one game sample, that Jackson Dart is going to be really good. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you right there. Lee Ainsworth saying Dart Neighbors would have been fun to watch. Yeah, that would have been this year. It would have been fun. I think next year it's going to be fun as well. Midea Reyes saying, "Wow, I just walked into the wrath of Tip." Don't worry, Commish. We're still all going to be here once that happens. Oh no, 100%. If you're entertained by this show, you're clearly not meant for the rapture. And I'm going to be here during the rapture just being like, look, guys, I apologize. I'm sorry I did this to you. God, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, Dart to Neighbors in the future is going to be fun. And there's no reason why you shouldn't doubt this, but you always have to have that caveat. If Malik Neighbors can come back and be some version of himself, like 99% of who he is. But these ACL injuries, and then like you saw that name right there, Sterling Shepard, on there twice. He is a New York Giant. He's on there twice. He's suffered an Achilles tear and he's suffered an ACL tear. They've got to do like there's got to be something Like one stadium creating that many injuries, it's got to be something with the stadium, right? Like we say this all the time. If you've got a problem with everybody, more than likely the problem is you. If you got a problem hurting major players all the time, and sometimes not even major players, like there's a lot of stuff wrong with that stadium. You got to fix the turf somehow, some way. I get it. It's super expensive, very expensive, but it's better than paying players millions of dollars not to play because your stadium hurt them. Augustine saying God is going to look at us all and say, no. You stay. You're good where you are. Lee Ainsworth saying, as a Chargers fan, that game hurt. Being no tape an asset, but a loss is a loss. Yeah, that one was a surprise, but I hold steadfast in this. Like, I don't think the Giants won that game as much as the Chargers lost that game. If they play each other 100 times, the Chargers are winning 90 of those games, right? Like it's just that way. And it's the weird thing with football. Justin Herbert isn't going to throw 2 interceptions in a game again the rest of the season. At least you hope not. But there's nothing that you would sit there saying to yourself, yeah, Justin Herbert's going to cost us the game. It was just one of those free games. Football's going to football. Obviously, it doesn't matter with my what-if scenario, but I still feel like the Chargers, they beat themselves in that game. I know B. Strill is going to sit back and be like, Tip, we spoke to somebody a couple of weeks back who was saying that their team beat themselves too, but they lost 30-0. Exactly. This Chargers game was close. The Chargers game was close. Yeah, there you go. Lee Ainsworth saying we beat ourselves. Penalties killed us. 100%. I agree with you 100%. The Chargers are going to be a fun team to like watching Omarion Hampton finally get it going. And again, like maybe it's the bad defense in New York with the Giants, but that was a promising sign watching Omarion Hampton do his thing. Augustine saying, I hope not. Herbert is on my fantasy team. I almost lost because of this. I started Herbert over Stafford this week. LOL. I'm in the same boat. Once again, I go 1-3 in fantasy. 1 win, 3 losses in fantasy. And my 3 losses combined are by 16 points. And in one of my leagues, if I had started Dak Prescott over Jared Goff, I'm getting the win there. And like an idiot, I forgot to put the our Jacksonville Jaguars defense in, and wind up losing because I had the Dallas Cowboys defense starting. Don't know why I still have them. That's going to be something for the waivers this week, putting the Dallas Cowboys defense out to pasture. But had I just those 2 little things, I have a 3-1 season going for me. It just didn't happen. Just didn't happen for your boy. Nonetheless, we survive. We live on. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I appreciate all the support we're doing. No show tomorrow. Got a day soccer game. So if you're in the El Paso area, head out to Southwest University Park. The El Paso Locomotive will be taking on the Oakland Roots at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. If you want to support what we're doing, you can check it out on ESPN Plus as well. The El Paso Locomotive. I would appreciate that for the audience that's not in El Paso. Once again, everyone, thank you so much. We will see you all on Thursday.